Hi. So I never thought this day would come where I decide it would be a good idea to come back to YouTube. Specifically because I literally did this 4 years ago in 4th grade, and it has come back to bite me in the behind, and it probably will. Still, what is there to lose? So I'm back. Yay! Okay. So, as most people know, everybody knows, pretty much, I'm obsessive, and I think it's pretty apparent that I'm obsessive, and one of my current obsessions is actually books. Right there. I've spent probably $200 on books that I haven't read yet, and I have a lot of books I haven't read yet. I've read maybe 4 out of 15, which is a lot whenever I use my own money to buy these books, but at least it's my own money and not my mom's or my dad's. Anyway, so I want to just talk about this whole annotating thing, because even though I'm a newbie at it, I've literally only annotated 3 books in my lifetime, I feel pretty good about it, and I think that it has really helped my reading process. I think half the reason why I didn't like reading in the first place was because I didn't understand most of it. And I did start The Song of Achilles as my first book in a really long time, which probably wasn't the best idea considering it is pretty advanced. But I didn't annotate that book, which might play into the fact that I literally didn't understand half of it. And also, I don't know crap about Greek mythology. So, those kind of played factors, but we're not talking about The Song of Achilles right now. We're talking about annotating, which is something, and I literally have already told you what I think about annotating. I feel like maybe this background is a little bit too crazy. I don't think we want to go back to the whole closet moment, mainly because there's no stepping room in my closet. Let's go! Yeah! So now that we cleared that up, I think it's safe to go through this whole thing. I get these annotating tabs from Amazon. I can put a link in the description, even though I don't think anybody's gonna be using it. I'll do it anyway, just in case. At the start of my whole annotating journey, I decided to do as much research I could in order to stall on this process, because I knew that this process was gonna be really hard to start. So what I use and how I annotate is kind of just a mixture of a lot of people on YouTube. So there's not really anybody to credit for this, because it's literally every walking human on the earth that uses annotating. But here's what I do. The first one is dislike, is if I don't like something that the author has written, or if I just don't like a character right off the bat. I don't like something that the character's thinking, like maybe they sound really freaking narcissistic. Even though I'm not gonna fight the author on this because that's part of the book, I just don't like the character for that. Number 2, this is probably the one that I use the most aside from favorite, which is important. So something that I think the author is gonna use for foreshadowing, or if I think this is gonna be what this whole book is about if I haven't read the blurb, which does happen. Number 3 is relationships. So I mainly use it whenever I start to see a relationship forming, especially in romance books, because that's what the whole thing is. The whole thing is relationship, and so I use it a lot, especially if there's like something rocky going on in the relationship, or if I feel like they're bonding and forming as one, if you want to be a cliche. Number 4, which this one is for sure my most used one, is fave. So if I really like something that a character has said, or if I love this character right off the bat, or if I'm starting to like this character, or if I love the way the author has approached it, many things. It's pretty self-explanatory. You could literally use this for anything that you like in the book. Number 5 is characters. So I mainly use this at the beginning of the book. You can see there's quite a bit of yellow. That's whenever maybe they introduce the love interest, or it's like literally the first page, and you can just tell how the character approaches life. You know, if you also want to be cliche about that too. So it's pretty self-explanatory, just as most of them are characters. Next is representation. I don't remember what I was using this as in the beginning when I first started annotating, but now I kind of use it as if I'm reading a book where the character is a minority and the book is showing, you know, the struggle it is to be whatever they are in the book. I obviously use representation because there's representation. For example, like in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is half Cuban, half white American, I think, if I remember that correctly. And I'm not going to spoil the book with this because it's pretty right off the bat when you read the book. And in this book, she kind of has to hide her identity, being Cuban American, because she arises to fame in the 50s, which is, as we know, like a pretty racist time. So I could definitely use representation as a little flag because it's representing, literally what the heck is that? It's representing her struggle as being a person of color in that time. Number 7 is world. I've yet to use this that much because I haven't read any fantasy novels yet, but I feel like this would be a really used color if I was more into fantasy, which I'm not. I'm explaining the setting, or even I'm gonna use Harry Potter as an example, even though I've never seen it. I read the first book, so it's kind of like when they explain like Alakazam. I don't even know if that's Harry Potter, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like it's kind of like out of the ordinary stuff that you wouldn't originally know from present times, like potions. Number 8, which I kind of made myself, like I didn't really take this from anybody, is cute moment. So I use this a lot in this book. Like here I used cute moment. Here I used cute moment. I used cute moment a lot. And I kind of did this so I could balance out how much I was using number 4, which is my favorite moment, because that was when I started like running out and I was like, oh crap, like I need more. So I kind of use favorite now as a favorite moment that's not with the love interest or with a friend, you know? So like a dad. Number 9 is sad, which is pretty self-explanatory. So if someone says something sad, or there's like a really sad moment, or somebody's not in the right state of mind, you know, pretty self-explanatory. So I decided to use blue. Number 10 is questions, which I don't use that much, but I use it if I'm like confused about the whole plot, or if someone mentions a character that hasn't been mentioned in a really long time and I forget who they are. I put gray, which is questions. That's what I use to annotate, and I annotate a lot. I really like to underline. I don't remember if I already said that, so I'm just gonna cut this out if I didn't, or cut the other time that I said it if I did. But I like to underline everything. Well, not everything, but stuff that I think is really important. And I see a lot of people highlighting stuff, and even though I know that pencil is pretty much the equivalent to pen, because I'm not going to go through my books and erase everything that I wrote, it freaks me out using ink on paper, because it's for sure like gonna stay there, and I just don't want to do that. So if I do have a favorite quote or something, I use the fave color, so number 4, up here, and I draw a little arrow to wherever the thing is, and that's my favorite quote. Here, I'll show you. Like right here, I underlined my favorite quote and I drew a little arrow up to this flag, which is up here, and so I can just look to it. Pretty easy. Thank you for watching. Please don't make fun of me for this. Maybe I'll see you, maybe I won't. I feel like I'm on a phone call. Okay, bye.